Let's discuss the big trends in the auto sales now for the month of August. Commercial vehicle growth rate has come off sharply across the board, whether you look at Tata Motors, Eicher or Ashok Leyland. The two-wheeler segment has also reported a very sharp fall in exports. And the third big trend is that there's a strong revival of passenger vehicle sales in the month of August. So let's discuss this with Basudeb Banerjee, who's the analyst at ICICI Securities. Basu, good morning and thanks for joining in. I noticed that CV sales have slowed down quite a bit. I mean, Tata Motors saw just a 6% growth. Eicher CV is up just 4%. And Ashok Leyland on the back of a low base has grown 50%. Why do you think that is? Is there a slowdown in demand? Is it just seasonal? And what is the expectation from the CV sector?
See, neither there's a slowdown. Seasonality is there, yes. But if you recall, last year industry was coming out of wave 2. And just after wave 2 ended, the demand suddenly surged up to balance up. And that's why volumes were slightly higher than normal in seasonally weak months. So from that aspect, if I look at Leyland delivering 8,500 plus MHCV this month, is quite commendable. So let's not go by the percentage number changes, but let's look at the absolute numbers. And from that perspective, I'll say CV numbers were pretty steady this month. I won't look it from a negative angle that things were on the disappointing side.
Okay. Now, my point more was that the growth rate, which was quite strong in the preceding months, has come off sharply. Perhaps it's because the base effect is also wearing off. The other big trend that I noticed is that two-wheelers have reported a very sharp fall in exports. Not just Bajaj Auto, which had the Nigeria issue. Hero Motor exports are down 50%. TVS Motor exports are down 15%. And TVS has a large contribution there. Do you think that would put a cap on the stock prices?
Yeah, very rightly said. So even Bajaj Auto has been highlighting that exports numbers will be a bit tepid in the coming months because of currency challenges, macro challenges, and a bit of supply chain issues, and destocking activities also has been taking place in the target export markets. So a few months of weak export numbers was pretty much expected, and that is happening. But if you look at both Bajaj and TVS's number, domestic numbers were fantastic. And that resulted in overall volumes to be even much better than expected levels. So 4 lakh of Bajaj and 3.35 of TVS on an absolute basis were far better than last few months' average levels. So yes, weak exports was expected, that happened, but strong domestic balanced that weakness in exports to resulting in decent absolute volume.
Basudeb, good morning. The stunning numbers are being delivered by Royal Enfield, right? What's your view on Eicher now?
So see, 70,000, I won't say is stunning per se. On an absolute basis, if you look at month on month from 55,000, it will look good. But there were various issues why that was subdued at 55,000. But on an absolute basis, if you look at average level volume for Royal Enfield used to be anywhere between 62, 65,000. Post the newly launched Hunter 350cc, which is relatively sub 2 lakh on-road model, there was slight pickup in volume, and Hunter got launched sometime, I will say 10th of August. So full month effect is also not reflected in this figure. So ideally, September number for Royal Enfield should be better than 70,000. And if you look at export numbers were below 10,000 units, so which used to be 11, 12,000. So full month effect of Hunter plus exports going back to 12,000 units. So Eicher has the potential to deliver 75 to 80,000 units in September, October. I won't say that 70,000 units was anything extraordinary to justify earnings upgrades.
Basudeb, tractors as a segment has disappointed, isn't it? What's going on there, according to you?
So if you look at the retail numbers of tractors from April to July, there has been quite a lot of divergence with the wholesale numbers. Retail numbers used to be around 11, 12,000 units a week for the industry, where wholesale numbers were far, far higher. So that convergence of wholesale retail through you can say, destocking activities during final months of monsoon has been taking place in July, August. And typically, if you look at from a wholesale perspective, September, October are very strong months for tractor industry. So year-to-date industry is up some 3%, in line with the industry guidance. So I'm not surprised at the tractor numbers as such.
Sorry. No, so sorry. You're saying that there was a lot of inventory built up, which wholesale, and that channel stuffing, and that basically played out.
Yeah. So April to July, April to June, channel stuffing increased. So the reversal of that happened in July, August, which was desirable.
But this, you said next couple of months are pretty strong, September, October, etc. Will this
seasonally they are the strongest months?
Do you expect retails to be very strong, or do you think? What's your sense?
No, typically wholesales are strong, retails are pretty normal. Retail strong, yes, it will be, you can say November, where the harvest month for summer crops will come out.
I don't think we've got your view on Maruti. How are you approaching that stock now?
See, stock has moved up quite a bit now to 9,000 plus levels. Main driver for the earnings upgrades has been margin outlook improvement, especially with steel, aluminium, now also crude also falling towards $90 a barrel. So those are quite positive drivers for EBITDA margin outlook, moving up from 6-8% levels to 12-13% levels by FY24. That's quite a sharp jump in margin levels. Volume-wise, I don't think there has been any major trigger till date. Vitara numbers will start coming in from September, October onwards. New launches further expected towards end of fiscal 23. But Brezza refresh, if you look at, still 165 is nothing extraordinary. They have been doing that kind of number earlier also. So for any major upside to drive led by earnings upgrades, you need positive volume surprises. So till now, I think volumes have been quite in line.
Volumes have been in line. What about M&M as a stock from here out? It's done phenomenally well.
So I will say phenomenally well. Both the stock has done phenomenally well, and in terms of volume, also in the auto segment, they have delivered pretty well. Tractor industry, where industry itself is not doing that well, that's why Mahindra with some 42% market share is also performing in line with industry. But for the stock to deliver further returns from these levels, all eyes should be on the profitability of the auto segment, where volumes now going to cross 30,000 units a month, raw material prices falling, operating leverage improving. So with initial tranche of Scorpio and new launches getting over, price hikes are desirable to see auto segment margin moving up. So when that happens, the next leg of upgrades should start happening. North stock has moved up in advance with announcement of 1 lakh order book for Scorpio N or the plans for EV launches. But those things need to get delivered in terms of EBITDA execution.
Right, Basudeb, we'll leave it there today. Thanks a lot for joining us.